Hello, everyone. So today's lesson is on the four C's, which are necessary skills for the 21st century. So what I mean by the four C's is critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. These are all skills that are necessary to form well-rounded adults. These skills are not just only for high school, but are transferable to the outside world. Critical thinking is a transferable skill that every person should have. It helps to separate the fact from fiction, allows for new ideas or ways of thinking to be pushed forward, and problems to real issues to be solved. Critical thinking goes beyond the ability to solve problems and puzzles, but allows you to dive deeper into issues and produce your own solutions. So the video that I have attached to this slide is a video on Socrates and the Socratic method. Now, the reason why I chose this video is because this does help you to think critically. A lot of students struggle with what critical thinking actually is, and it's being able to question what you're learning, to provide new ideas, to get new insight. Socrates really pushed questioning as a way of learning. So, we're going to watch this together and kind of get a little bit more insight into what he wanted us to see. So often, I especially have students who really struggle with creativity because they associate creativity with being artistic. They're like, Miss, I can't draw, I don't know how to write poetry. However, creativity goes beyond just having those artistic abilities. Um, and oftentimes students get really discouraged when they're asked to be creative for different assignments. But why do you think that is? Students feel pressured to come up with art instead of having the ability to have a different perspective or an insight to our problem. Creativity is offering your unique perspective and recognize the ideas that are already present. On the slide, I have that creativity is defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and entertaining ourselves and others. So creativity is such a beneficial skill to have because it goes beyond just artistic ability. It allows you to think in a variety of different ways and experience life and problems in a variety of ways. Collaboration is something that students often dread, the group assignments. However, collaboration contributes to a variety of skills. Communication with others, community building, and problem solving are all parts of collaboration. Collaboration also allows you to experience different perspectives and ways of doing something. You can learn from others. Collaborating with your peers allows you to become a valuable team member. It also allows you to have a variety of perspectives and ways of problem solving. Let's look at how one school is using collaboration as a way to instruct their students. Communication can happen in a variety of ways, whether it's through technology such as text messaging, email, or phone calls, or in person through speaking to one another or using body language. Effective communication is a necessary skill. Communication is the way that we interact with one another in the world, despite whether or not we actually speak. When communicating, we must know who our intended audience is, stay on topic and focus to make a point instead of just rambling on. We must also understand our tone and volume and even our attitude. In order to communicate effectively, we must also listen to learn. So there's a huge difference between listening and hearing someone. Hearing someone is the vocal process, but listening is actually understanding what that person is saying. It takes focus and skill to listen to understand. All right, this concludes our presentation. I do have a section for questions. If anyone has any questions, please go to menti.com, menti.com, and enter the code 33767740. I'm going to give you guys like a minute or two to ask any questions that you might have. This helps you to be a little bit anonymous instead of having to raise your hand. Okay, I see that someone has said, what should I do if I struggle with some of these skills? That's a great question. So if you're struggling with any of these 4Cs, first of all, know that you're still a student and you're still learning. Secondly, practice, okay? I constantly have students who tell me, well, Miss, I don't like to present. Miss, I don't like to work with others. It's scary, or I really struggle with speaking to others. Being in school is a great time for you to practice these skills. So that way, when you're an adult and you have to use all of these skills, when you're at work, when you're interacting, when you're making phone calls, when you're, talking to doctors, that kind of thing, you'll have that skill set. Like I said, all 4 of these are really beneficial to form a well-rounded adult, and practicing is the only way that you get better. Since there were no more questions, I just wanted to show you guys my references and say thank you so much for um, watching this presentation. If you guys do end up having any more questions, please feel free to reach out through the Menti, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed.